What is going on, Swoopers? Welcome back to a very, very special Opposition Views. This is the first Opposition Views with Terry from Billboard that we've done in person, mate. Pleasure.
Wow.
Look, I do wish it was in better circumstances.
No, you don't.
No, I actually do. I actually do. I think before we get into this, into the crux of it and talk about the game and stuff, I think I don't know, I feel like it's a bit monumental as well. Just seeing, I was trying to watch yesterday some of the first ones that we did, and they were just too cringeworthy, so I didn't watch them. So I was like, no, I can't watch this. And I think, from there, I know especially I've very much matured over the 6 years that I've been doing this,
we've come a long way.
We have, and I think, first off, what I wanted to say is that, not only do I figuratively look up to you, but I actually, I absolutely look up to you, and I think, I think it was a bit testy at times, but doing footy abroad has really just brought us sort of closer, and I don't consider you, there was at one stage that I considered you, like not an enemy, not because of Carlton, but just someone that I aspired to be and someone that I was very jealous of. But that was very immature of me. But now it's just, I get pleasure watching you grow, and you are doing absolutely incredible things, getting the president on for the Blues and stuff. And I feel privileged. I was actually nervous coming in and doing this in person with you.
Nah, look. Firstly, that's very vulnerable of you to be. So I appreciate that, and I mean it kind of goes both ways. I think when we started out, we're still trying to figure out what are we doing.
Yeah.
There was no blueprint
Yeah.
for footy fan channels. I myself was a bit boisterous too, and then I looked at you as like, do I have to take on this Carlton persona, and do I have to hate you because you're Collingwood? And I mean, I would read tweets and it would get under my skin, and I would fight back with you, and I was also immature, and I'm not fully mature now, but I'm more mature than 2019.
I get that. Yeah.
So it's. And it's really tricky. If I'm honest, I was a bit mindful of like doing this. I didn't know if it was going to be on my channel or not, because I mean, the Carlton supporters are just fucking angry at everything at the moment, and I didn't want to feed more online
100%
bullying and that sort of thing, and we'll probably still get it.
Yeah.
But like whatever,
it is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think like professionally, there's respect.
Yeah.
And I think we've both learned how to separate the fact that we really dislike each other's clubs and what they stand for and the rivalry, but professionally, there's like very few people do what we do, and to the level that we've both done it. So, it goes both ways. The respect goes both ways.
Thank you. Yeah, and it's just like, you're right. There was no blueprint when we started, and now there's just so many people doing it. And it's just so great to see what everyone's been building.
Yeah.
It's just, and we talk about on Footy Abroad all the time that this is the new age in a way with these fan channels, and everyone's just doing absolutely incredible things.
Yeah, and then I think with that, we've got to be really mindful of, the power shifts a little bit, and with the platform comes power, and with that comes responsibility, and so now we're kind of navigating through this new era of like, people rely on watching your videos. There are a lot of Collingwood supporters that will watch your videos every week just to stay in tune in their own way, and vice versa. And what's weird? Like, I actually got an email this morning from a Collingwood man named George. Shout out to you,
George.
He told me he started watching the fan cams, hate watching, and he's grown to sort of appreciate seeing what's happening and the passion and it sort of goes through. So I think it's starting to transcend that hatred of each other's clubs, and it's like, oh wow, we're all just passionate footy fans about our clubs.
Yeah.
So we're doing something. I don't know what we're doing exactly, but we're doing something.
No, 100%. I guess that can just lead us on to our sort of first topic. Like, I know you talked to Rocco sort of about it, but just about the rivalry, just in general. Like, I talked to Brodie Holland about it on our podcast, and how it was in the early 2000s, and how it's just very different now. And I'm sure you feel it. Like, I feel it, that that sort of rivalry is just online now. It's not, and I guess that's the new age. It's all social media now. But do you sort of feel it? I still feel that Collingwood supporters hate Carlton. That's just in. But do you feel it as much as you did, or do you think it's smaller, or?
I feel like early days, especially with the channel, and even just me growing up, it was just like you were taught.
Yep.
You have to hate Collingwood. This is how it is.
Yep.
But that rivalry has been born out, 100+ years, and within that, there's been finals and grand finals and heartbreak either way, which built the rivalry.
Yep.
Whereas now it's a bit one-sided in my experience. Like, let's be honest. I've seen less than 10 wins, maybe 12 in my life. I don't have the exact number, but it's not a lot.
Yeah.
So we've had a bit of heartbreak due to Collingwood, but I do feel like I don't truly feel it the way someone like Rocco did, or someone, in the generation before me. And yeah, you're right, it is more online, and it is more, I do feel it in the crowd.
100%.
Feel that tension in the crowd.
It amps you up, man.
And I used to get a bit upset, and I think Carlton supporters do a little bit still, when they hear players say, like, the rivalry, like, they don't feel it as much.
Yeah.
Like, Wiedering was on radio a few years ago saying, like, we don't feel it as much. And I used to be really mad at that, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have those big final heartbreaks that the previous generation did. So you can't teach hatred.
Yeah, no, exactly right.
Yeah.
And do you think that's what it would actually take to fully feel it like we did, maybe not as bad as the 70s and 80s and from stories there? You think it'll take a final to be like, hang on a second, this is where the animosity came from all those years ago?
I do think it won't take long to, like, really spark it up.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll take long. It's probably a final. I don't know if we're all really, truly ready for that.
I literally don't think we are. Well, we had an opportunity to play off in the grand final nearly, and I remember watching that on the train because I was going to a party. I was watching that obviously because we were already in the grand final, and I was not ready for a Carlton Collingwood grand final. Not even just because of what it would have brought. I just thought, I don't think Victoria was ready for something that big.
Fuck. It's going to happen at some point.
At some point it will.
Hopefully we're alive for it, because I
yeah.
do want to be there to remember it. And I think because Carlton have been so bad for so long, it just adds to the suspense as well. But yeah, I don't know. It's a real afterthought at the moment because it seems so far away, but it also seems so far away back then.
Yeah.
And we'll see. Like, we'll see what happens. But I hope we're doing this when it does happen, because to cover it would be cool.
It'll just be, it's just second to none. And I guess, that could be next year, it could be 10 years. Like, who really, with the way that footy ebbs and flows and Tassie coming in and all this sort of stuff, it's all sort of up in the air. But we're here now. So we get 2 games against the Blues and Collingwood. The first game was that round 4 game. What do you remember from that game?
I remember, I think we were 0-3 at the time.
Yep.
And I remember we started off pretty okay. And then I actually just remember that third quarter, just like minute by minute, just sort of slumping into my seat, and then just eventually like this, and then just eventually rocking. And I'm like, fuck. Like, we're actually no good. Like, we're no good.
Yeah.
And Collingwood are just connected. They're just so connected to each other. They're just connected to it. They're just connected, like, on the field, off the field, bands. There's like this identity. That's what I remember. It's like, it's just like a stark difference. Like, we're a bunch of individuals here. Some of them are connected, some of them are not. And then, like, you just get this group. They're just like subconscious with each other. Like, they handball not just to their teammates, but like to the space where their teammates are going to be. Yeah. Like, yeah, that's what I remember.
And we're pretty much 12 weeks on from that. So a few months on from that. And obviously, lots have changed, lots of things have sort of stayed the same. And, we put down, these are the games that we circle in the calendar straight away. What does this game sort of mean to you with everything going on right now?
Oh, it's just so weird. It's like, we've been calling for this line in the sand moment.
Yeah.
And like, all right, like, I've been chipped away this year, as in start of the season. All right, last year ended in the last third injuries. Okay, let's push for top 4 again, because we were top 4 most of last year. Top 2 as well, and like, okay, we'll go again for top 4. We're ready. The list is, I thought it was ready. And then it sort of chips away. It's like, we started terribly. Okay, maybe it's not top 4, but you've got to play finals footy.
Yeah.
And then we get to like close to the bye, and it's like, are we cooked? And then we get outside of the bye, we're here now, it's like, yeah, we're cooked.
Yeah.
So it's, what does it mean? I mean, I've got to find something. Like, supporters have disconnected in a really sad way for the most part.
Yep.
And a lot of us are trying to find something to latch onto, and a lot of us have just disconnected and, well, we say disconnected, but like they'll show up and they'll tune in.
100%, of course, yeah.
So for Carlton, it's about, like, you want to ask for buy-in and stick fat and all of these things. You have to show it. Like, the supporters will hook into something. We just need to find something to hook into. So that's what this game could represent.
Yeah, like I can tell you from the comments that I've been seeing on my channels and socials and stuff like that, people are genuinely nervous about this game. Collingwood supporters are genuinely nervous about this game. And I say it all the time on Footy Abroad, and you guys don't believe me, but this is genuinely a...
Pommy's rolling his eyes.
I know, he's going, oh, stop being so humble, Luke. Stop being so... Take your fake glasses off. Like, but genuinely, people are like, they've been lambasted in the media. The president's come out. All this sort of stuff. This is Voss's. Wiedering came out on SEN the other day, and I think it was yesterday, and he was saying, he actually said supporters are side by side with us. Like, well, perfect way to steal our motto, but you know what I mean. So the players can say all they want, and even Mackay on 360 or whatever, he came out and said this is the most connected he's felt with the club, or the most connection the club's had. So it's like you're getting two different sides of the spin from Carlton, but from Collingwood supporters, yes, there is a cohort of us, thinks that, we should win by whatever it is, 30, 40 points, right?
Yeah.
But there is still a bit where you go, hang on a second, we've seen what Carlton can do. They're backs against the wall, and like you talk about line in the sand, if it was opposite and this was Collingwood in Carlton's position, I would accept nothing less than a win.
Yeah.
Like, I know you probably think like, oh, we got injuries and all this sort of stuff, but this is the game where you throw everything out the window, and you find that extra, even 1% on everyone. Cripps has had a couple of down weeks, but he has to find that extra 5% for people who won't find it for him.
100%. And I'm a realist in saying the form line suggests this is a Collingwood win, all of that, but I'll be flat if Carlton lose.
Yeah.
Like, I know we're not good, and I know we're not favoured to win. I know it's likely we're not going to win. But how much more can you lower the standards?
Yeah.
It's like dating.
Yeah.
Following Carlton is like dating. You just lower your standards every time, and the bar keeps decreasing. So, no, it's got to be a win. Like, fucking find something.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we're likely to lose, but don't make it embarrassing.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I mean, the thing that Collingwood and Carlton share is that supporter passion, that it's like part of our livelihoods. We wear our clubs proud, and we feel like we're a part of something. And we're going to walk out there and just get smashed. Like, I mean, I am kind of bracing to come to the G on Friday and just be like,
yeah. Of course, yeah.
Like, we haven't really roared at all.
And that's what I mean. Like, Collingwood's, we announced that Rowan Steele would be debuting our mid-season draft pick, and
who?
Yeah. Oh, mate, I hope he kicks two. He's going to play small forward. He's got to kick two, and I'm going to use this clip.
Ned Long. Fuck, man.
But like in that video where it wasn't just like, oh, Steele, you're playing this weekend. Craig McRae went around to most of the players saying, Nick, what does it mean to play Carlton? Pendles, you've been here for 20 years. What does it mean to play Carlton? Everyone's like, it doesn't matter where the form is. You rock up. You show up for this. So from our perspective, from the actual team, they know what this game means. They know it's not, oh, Carlton have been playing shit this season. It's just got to be a walk in the park. They know that, well, they think they know that Carlton are going to sort of come up from that. Have you seen anything like that from the players of the club recently? No. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is not going how I wanted it to go.
I mean, and this gets to Carlton supporters as well. I mean, there was a post yesterday by the club with the caption,
get your bobbleheads.
It was, what was it? It was something about like the old rival awaits.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But sort of going back to what I said earlier, and I mean, Wiedering spoke the truth. He just doesn't feel the rivalry the way that these other people do. And like, I can like that or dislike that, he spoke his truth. And this probably goes back to that conversation around like, are the players truly connected? And like we spoke the other night about the identity of our clubs, and so are the players and the fans and everyone, are we all connected with the same identity, or is it a little bit different here or there? And that's Carlton at the moment. We're disconnected.
Yeah.
I'd hate to say it, but it's the truth. And I'm not like conceding defeat. Maybe I am in a little way, but I'll still be fucking filthy if we don't put in a showing on Friday night. Like, it's disgusting.
100%.
It's actually disgusting. Like,
Yeah.
And it's the worst thing you can get from a Collingwood supporter is pity.
Yeah.
It's worse. Like, I'd rather you be a bit more like the worst thing is like get an email from George, bless your soul, like a Collingwood man telling me how much he appreciates. I'm like, fuck off. Respectfully. Yeah.
So like it is a Carlton home game though.
Yeah.
So is there, like, I know it's Thursday today. It's literally tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
And it doesn't, because it's not a Collingwood home game. I don't we don't build it up as much as we would to get the army down or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's going to be a decent turnout? Do you feel like, you know, with the weather and the form line, you know, a 90,000 game might only get 72,000 or something? Or do you think you're going to rock up?
I am guessing somewhere between 68 and 72, which is disappointing.
Yeah, yep.
However, on the other end, if the Collingwood supporters sort of fill out and want to come and see, you know, then maybe that'll help. But yeah, I think anytime we play each other, I want 85 plus.
100%. Yeah.
I really want that.
Yeah.
I love it. I love seeing 85 in a crowd. Like, that's great. Like, to be a part of that
is
a privilege. But my guess at the moment is we'll get high 60s, early 70s, and I'll be pretty flat at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless, again, the Collingwood faithful show up.
Yeah. I think that'll send a pretty big message to the club as well. You would think. Well, I really don't know.
You would hope.
You would
like,
hope.
You would hope.
Yeah.
You really would.
Yeah.
I don't know how many more messages can be sent to Carlton. Because, yeah, I mean, you talk about the language, and we've already heard it, like having honest conversations a couple times in the first 4 rounds of the year, and you heard Wiedering this week, you got to find some purpose. Stick fat from the captain, and we're all just kind of waiting.
Yeah.
Could be tomorrow. I hope it is. It could be.
And I genuinely think that this could be. I know you said, I don't know if it was off camera or on camera, that the line in sand moment was that Kangaroos game.
Yeah.
But I genuinely think it's this game, and I guess we can shift our focus straight to this game. And if Carlton do win, what needs to happen for them to win? Like, who needs to fire? I know Curno's gone back-to-back goalless for the first time since 2021. So obviously he needs to fire, but you do have a couple of pieces missing. No Silvani, no Sard. So what does that sort of mean?
Well, I think Carlton have to. I mean, first of all, the good players have to be the good players, and so Curno has to lift. Cripps must lift. Wiedering must lift. So, you know, these are the highly paid players, and with that comes expectation and responsibility. So, like, they have to lift and play at their best, but the team have to, you know, be connected, and it's the lapses in concentration that can get Carlton. And then what tends to happen is, like, I'm pretty confident the start of the game will be pretty good. Carlton generally start well. Last week they didn't. Like, they'll hit that kick in the first quarter. They'll hit the second one. They'll hit the third. The fourth one they might miss. And then you just start seeing, like, they get in their heads, and then they don't take that kick, and then that second mistake happens, and then once it becomes 2 or 3 in a row, it just feels like it caves in on them.
Yep.
And in that moment, if the Collingwood chant starts ringing, like, it'll start feeling like it'll cave in. And so the trick this week is going to be, can they just, like, calm the fuck down, work their way through it? Because Collingwood will dominate at some point, and it's just a matter of, will we be able to, you know, not let that extend.
Yep.
And we'll be able to, like, stick tight. So it really is, and I feel like I'm using the buzzwords of the club, but it really is about staying focused and connected and not letting the noise cave in on their heads.
And who's some players that, you know, aren't sort of household names that can, you know, lift? I think, you know, Pommy was talking about Ashton Moyer possibly playing, kicked 4 goals in the VFL. Like, you know, Francis Evans kicked a couple of goals as well. You know, are these players who aren't named at the moment as we're recording this, but are they, you know, is this the time for some young kid to shine?
Could be. I think Harry O'Farrell is a name that not many will know outside of Carlton. He, I think, will come in for Silvani. He did earlier in the year. He debuted, and he's really ahead of schedule. I don't think there was too much expectation of him playing this year, but I think he'll come in, and he's actually got he's got something about him.
Yeah.
Don't want to put too much pressure on him. Ashton Moyer is one that's been good in the VFL the last few weeks. I think he was the sub against you guys last time, and he was out of his depth completely, and it'd be good to see if he comes in what he can do. Non-household name. So it's really weird because like Williams, Fantasia, Fogarty and McGovern, they're not household names, but they've been around for a little while.
Yep.
Fantasia's pretty new, but they've been kind of okay the last few weeks. Ollie Hollands, I don't know if you're...
Yeah, he kicked 2 against us in round 4 as well.
Yeah, so he's developed.
Yeah,
He's
been
something.
really, really good, yeah. Is someone like McGovern, right?
Yeah.
They're chucking him in the forward line. I know Lewis Young played last week. Without Silvani, is he someone that you would chuck back into the back line or keep him forward because there's no Mackay?
I think keep him forward.
Yeah.
I think, personally, I think his days behind the ball are done.
Right, yeah.
And he's got to... He actually came to us as a forward.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't working. He wasn't fit enough. He was breaking down, and then he went back, rejuvenated a little bit. But, Silvani's gone back now, and we've got O'Farrell for the future, so I think that I want to focus on him. I personally would keep McGovern forward, especially while Mackay's out, with Curnow. And then I don't know if they'll play that third forward, if it'll be Lewis Young, or if they'll bring in Harry Lemmy for a debut. But I personally think McGovern should stay forward because he's got the smarts.
Yeah.
He wasn't good last week. Nobody
No
was.
one was, yeah.
But the 2 weeks prior to that, he kicked 7 goals.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that means anything, but he can. He's actually got a really good set shot when he's not concussed.
Yeah. I guess the big thing is like, we know the likes, Nick Dacos at one point is going to get off the chain. You would think Chincotta sort of goes through and puts that hard tag on. But besides Nick, who are you looking at the Collingwood side and going, shit, he might rip us apart? I know it could be the whole team, but like...
Ned Long.
my boy Longy due for like 14 tackles.
Oh man, I still remember like that right foot check side. He's come on as the sub, and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Like another one? I like Ned Long. Tom Mitchell's going to play?
He's looking very, very likely to play. First game since
Anzac
Anzac
the way
Day.
he plays the game, man.
Yeah,
he's just got. I don't know. Like I love.
He's got it. Whatever it is, he's got it.
Yeah, I love Pendle.
Yeah.
Love Pendles. I actually love watching Collingwood. Like, I know it's a bit weird to say. Box office.
Yeah.
Thank goodness Sidebottom's not playing.
Yeah, Sidey's out. Yep.
So that's one guy on the wing that's not going to expose us, although it might be someone else. Who else do I like watching from Collingwood?
Josh is doing pretty well.
Josh is good. I do like Josh. I like Quainer.
You like Membry, don't you? You're a Saints fan?
Yeah, you guys have Membry.
You're a Saints fan?
Oh.
Membry checkers and mixed.
So Membry was known as like 3-goal Membry when he was at St Kilda.
Yeah.
He would just always kick 3 goals. So he didn't. Did he play last time?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. There was a game that he was rested for. It could have been the Carlton game.
Okay.
I actually don't know.
So he hasn't done. Okay, yeah. So I'll
put him down for 3 goals. You reckon? I can't remember.
No, look, I do like watching Collingwood and that connection that they have, and I do like a few of the individuals. I'm just a big Pendles, Mitchell kind of fan. Love Nick Dacos. Like,
of course.
How can you not? I find that whole doesn't get a hard ball. Like, it's so weird.
Yeah.
Like, what is that? That's just so weird.
What is that?
Why do you want him to play like Patrick Cripps?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just find that really strange.
It's just the tall poppy syndrome, right? It's just classic.
It's
classic
weird.
opposition.
Just
supporters.
Weird behaviour. Anyway, so yeah, I will enjoy watching Collingwood. Not so much this week, but in general, I will. And mate, what about you? Your team's flying.
Yeah, look, it feels good. Like, I think this game, the last 2 weeks, and you probably can see it from an opposition sort of point of view. Like, last 2 weeks we've been a little bit down, coming off the bye, a bit of lethargic sort of football, like lazy sort of football, but getting the job done. And I feel, I think that has to go back to playing back-to-back games at Marvel. Like, not wide enough, not big enough for our forwards to work in, our wingers to work in.
Doesn't have the same
so
energy
back home,
as here.
It doesn't. It doesn't. And when you're back home, when you're playing in front of whatever, even if it's 68,000, it's more than 38,000 that you're playing at Marvel Stadium. So I think that's going to really help us. Like, it's a weird feeling because I am confident in going into this game, but I also am just nervous going into it. So I've seen Carlton, just give it to us when we did, like in 2023.
Yeah.
Like there, we were the best team that year in the home and away season, and then we lose to Carlton by, I think, was that the Walsh? Walsh had a blinder that game. I'm pretty
21
sure.
or 23?
23 when we lost to Carlton and Hawthorn. I think Walsh. But
23.
you know, thankfully Walsh not playing, and he actually ate us up in round 4 as well.
Yeah.
Walsh. So he's the danger man that, you know, thankfully for us isn't playing. But I just see it as this is like round 1. Both teams are on 0-0. And it's like the opening of the second half of the season. Like
Hope
everything gets thrown out.
The Blues only need to win their next 8 in a row to make finals.
Well, it can be done. It can be done. But like, but in saying that, right? Like, there's 2 scenarios. Or I guess there's 3 scenarios. The worst one is 70-point win. Carlton don't rock up. Right? Let's not think about that one. The second one is Carlton show everything that they can and they still lose by a couple of goals. And the third one is Carlton show everything they can and they win.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's the best case scenario for you guys. And would it be papering over cracks if it win, or would it be, okay, hang on a second, we might not make finals, but beat the best team in the league, and we get to build off this now?
So the cracks are very clear to see, and they're more than cracks. We've been calling it the Grand Canyons.
Right. Yep.
So
yep.
there's no sugarcoating what has happened, and it's cooked. At this point, it almost strips back a bit. It's always about winning.
Yeah.
It's always about, but it's about bringing in the essence of footy and your supporters back into something. Otherwise, let's be honest, if it doesn't get better, or if it doesn't show any signs of a pulse in the next 8 weeks, there will be. I truly believe there'll be a lot of supporters who cancel their memberships.
Yeah.
Like
wow.
it's gotten there. It's
Shit.
genuinely getting to there where people are like, I'm not renewing, or I just cancel my membership for next. Like, it's getting
right.
there because it almost seems like there's just no way to get the message across for change. So, yeah, a win would be, to be honest, it would just be a week of relief.
Yep.
Until we play Brisbane on Thursday night. But
Far out. Yeah. True.
so it wouldn't fix things, but I think it'll just, because every loss you feel
Yeah.
it more, and you wear it more and you wear it more, and it just would be a week of, okay, maybe there is a little something there for this group to move forward. I'm now looking for what is going to be a part of Carlton moving forward past this year.
Yeah.
I'm done with flag,
Ladder predictors.
final, well,
You love a ladder predictor.
win this week, I might bring the ladder predictor out. Yeah, it's cope.
Yeah, it is. It's
pure copium.
It is. No, it is. But so you're looking forward to what you can see in a loss. What are you looking for the most if you guys lose?
Spirit and pride.
Yep.
For 4 quarters.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, which they haven't shown it for a long time, but spirit and pride, like fight, but like not the petty fights,
not brawl
stupidity.
fights.
Don't be like that fake toughness, but like fight on the scoreboard, fight for the loose balls. When one of the players gets knocked down, like back them up, like show some brotherhood, show some love for one another and some connection to one another, and pressure, tackle, like start with the defense, and then take your opportunities and get the crowd activated that way. If the crowd can believe, I mean,
I think that's the biggest thing. Like we flew off the crowd in 2023. We were, and I said that in on the other night, where the whole mantra from the internal Collingwood was bring the fans along for the ride, and we were the 19th man. It was the Collingwood chant, and I don't know what I haven't been to a Carlton just a Carlton normal with another team and seen what that sort of crowd looks like, but. Do the crowd get behind the players, and does it rejuvenate the players like our chant would? Or
we're a bit different, so we will be super loud after goals, or tackles, and I think the Giants game early in the year at Marvel was really bad because there was this really eerie feeling. I remember getting there, and it was almost like this. Everyone was like waiting, like, okay, what are you going to show us?
Yeah,
and there was like a dead, weird, eerie silence in the crowd. And the players must have felt that, and then they played terribly, and then it just got worse. And so we've had a few games interstate, but Melbourne games haven't had the same.
Yeah, the oomph about it.
Yeah, so it's really sad. I mean, the Geelong game was the first and only time I can remember this year where there was a real energy and buzz about it. So yeah, that's one of the saddest parts as well. And that's going to be hard to restore.
Yeah.
And so no matter what, like I said earlier, no matter what, everyone is pretty clear on who's in form and who's not. But a bad loss this week, like it just keeps chipping away at the supporters' heart, you know.
It's like, how much more can you take? But again, and like I said right at the start, that's why I am so nervous about this game, because I know as much as anyone where you can be shithouse for 6 weeks and then there's just that one game where you don't know why, you don't know how, but it just all clicks. And sometimes, you know, more often than not, it's against a fucking North Melbourne or against a Richmond, you know what I mean? But you just coming up, I don't know, it's not like, I don't believe in, you know, football omens or anything, or jinxes or anything like that. But this game just has something about it that says, hang on a second, big stage, football world, this is what we've got. And look, it might not eventuate to a win, but it might just be, this was the brand of football that we wanted to play.
It should be, again, I've been saying that should for a long time this year, but it should be a spirited game. You can make the case that Carlton played 3 games in 11 days.
Yep.
Port, 5-day break. Port were on a 5-day break as well, and now we've had the 8-day break, and they've had a chance to actually train and recharge and refresh. So yeah, some spirit would be good for the game, irrespective of. Yeah. So
either way, it's going to be a good game. Either way, it's going to be a good game.
Collingwood. And I say there is a rivalry there, but that's just cope.
Yeah.
It can't be dead just because Carlton suck at the moment. And that's just being a sore loser. So it's not. It's alive. It's just different.
It's just different.
It's just different.
But it's going to be, you know, hopefully we do get close to 75,000. That's what, you know, that's what you want as, you know, Carlton supporters. You know, I don't know. I'm saying it as a person, I guess, privileged up the top, but like you just, and I know at times Collingwood, we were rocking up when we were shocking as well, and I just want a good 70-point win. Like, that's all. Is that too much to ask?
Can we be up at halftime at least?
What did I tell you on footy, bro? I said you'll be up by halftime, or you'll be up in the third quarter. Historically, you know, the second half is when you sort of, you know, lay down a little bit and we sort of bump up.
Yeah.
The first quarter, I think you guys are the best first quarter side in the competition at the moment. Like, ranked number 1.
We're up there.
I think Collingwood notoriously bad at first quarters. So I know that the jump's going to be on. And if the jump's on, you get 2 goals in front, you guys start cheering. That's the spirit, that's the belief you were saying. And that's the snowball that I'm nervous about.
Yeah. I remember when I spoke to Eddie 2023, and I remember going, because he's very much about the history.
Yeah.
And he understands it so clearly. And I remember doing a little bit of research before and after I spoke with him, and it's really like interesting. Like, Carlton and Collingwood have this rivalry, but they've actually lent on each other at certain points in history. Like, Carlton was part of the reason why Collingwood was entered into the competition, and now that I'm starting to see like this Collingwood pity, it's like, oh, dude, keep going, guys. Like, we need you, Carlton. Like, a good Carlton is good for the AFL. I almost feel like that's like, we hate you, but fucking come over here.
Yeah.
Pick yourselves up, you pathetic.
It's almost like a little brother or something. Like,
I actually feel it a little bit with Essendon too. We're like a branch of the same tree.
Yeah.
There's like a familiarity with it, and that's just because of that's the beauty of footy and fandom, and how much people for certain Melbourne clubs like hook into their club.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's really interesting to see this dynamic evolve now.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. Terry, thank you so much for, you know, coming here to the beautiful MC. It's the calm before the storm, isn't it?
Yeah.
The calm before the storm. Hopefully it's a dry day tomorrow, but whatever happens, mate, see you on Tuesday.